Why was Marcus Aurelius such a unique person? Of the 5 virtuous emperors who genuinely cared for their subjects, he was one. In addition, he studied Stoic philosophy with loyalty. He made time to compose a collection of intimate pieces that are now referred to as the Meditations. The Roman emperor imparted many insightful guidelines on leading a contented life in these writings. We will examine 10 of the most significant takeaways from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations in this video. But before we start, I would like to ask you to follow me through to the very end. Your desire to better yourself is the reason you are here. Although the first 5 insights are foundational to the later ones, you must watch the first 5 in order to fully comprehend the last 5. There I hope to see you. Firstly, develop your own personality. According to Marcus Aurelius, the mind only needs things that it creates. Our society is materialistic. Advertisements telling us what to buy are all around us. The media also portrays the wealthy and well-known people's lives. We will never be content if we pursue happiness through material possessions. We will never get satisfied with what we have. We always want something bigger, faster, or more expensive. Furthermore, we cede control of our happiness when we rely on outside factors for it. In actuality, nothing material truly belongs to us. It can be taken away at any time. If our sense of self is determined by the size of our home, what happens if we lose it? The idea here is that we should concentrate on growing our character rather than pursuing material wealth. The greatest thing we have is our character. It establishes our identity and way of life. No matter what happens, it is the one thing that we cannot lose. We might forfeit our house, vehicle, or company, but we will always have our character. Our character has the power to lift or lower us in life and to leave a lasting impression. As such, we ought to make an effort to cultivate a character that is diligent, sincere, and compassionate. Additionally, we ought to learn how to be kind and respectful to other people. Second, don't let other people's opinions determine how happy you are. We shouldn't let other people's opinions determine how happy we are. It is impossible to please every single one of the billions of people on the planet. Seeking approval from others, such as likes on social media or matches on dating apps, can lead to feelings of dependence. But this isn't a dependable way to be happy. The first step is to shift our own perspective. We should cultivate a solid relationship with ourselves in order to find happiness within. It's important for us to realize that people don't dislike us because we're not kind, funny, or intelligent. No matter what we do or say, there will always be people who disagree with us or criticize us. As a result, we ought to lead the most genuine lives we can. If we disagree with someone's political stance, we shouldn't pretend to understand them or put up with hurtful remarks from friends. It is preferable to be hated for who you are than to be loved for who you are not, as French novelist André Gide once said. Thirdly, pay attention to the things you can manage. Our thoughts and deeds are the only things in life that we have control over. All other things are out of our grasp. As a result, we should ignore everything else and concentrate only on what we can control. Marcus Aurelius gives us this advice. Throw away the cucumber if it tastes bitter. Avoid thorny areas on the path if there are any. That's all the information you require. We occasionally waste time and effort on things over which we have no control. Anger-related emotions are generally ineffective, but they can be helpful if they spur us to take action against injustice. For instance, we have the option to be patient and listen to the radio while stuck in traffic, or we can become irate and honk. In any case, nothing will change the fact that we are still in the same predicament. We have no control over the thoughts, words, or deeds of others. As a result, we should put more of our attention on ourselves and not give them too much attention. Fourth, channel your rage into inspiration and originality. Using your rage for something constructive is one method to cope with it. Anger is a strong emotion that can take control of us and cause us to behave rashly. When we lose our temper, we frequently come to regret what we did and hurt both other people and ourselves. But what if we could channel our rage into something constructive? What if we could use it as a catalyst for inspiration and innovation? The important thing is to recognize our anger and its effects before it spirals out of control. We must consider how anger impacts our relationships and our lives, and consider alternative ways of responding. Rather than allowing our anger to control us, we can channel its energy and intensity into producing something constructive and advantageous for both ourselves and other people. We can use our rage to fuel creative and productive endeavors that positively reflect our emotions. Fifth, alter your pessimistic ideas. Altering our pessimistic thoughts is another strategy for overcoming unpleasant feelings. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher and Roman emperor, once said, "You control your thoughts, not external circumstances. When you acknowledge this, you'll find resilience." He was saying that our perceptions shape our emotions toward them. Our negative perceptions of reality frequently lead to our negative emotions. Consider John and Bill, two friends who received invitations to the same birthday celebration. John is excited about the party and is very gregarious. He views it as a fantastic opportunity to socialize and meet new people. Party and is extremely bashful. One will like him, and that he will be awkward and alone. How we view a situation, it can evoke very different emotions. Realize that our thoughts about our circumstances, rather than the actual circumstances, are what lead to our feelings of worry, anxiety, or rage. Altering our thoughts, we have the capacity to empower ourselves and regain control over our emotions. Have the ability to question our unfavorable presumptions and swap them out for more sensible and constructive ones. When will the best part begin? Sure to join us and subscribe to the channel before we continue. Sixth, be ready for difficulties and resilient in the face of difficulty. Living well, according to Marcus Aurelius, is more like wrestling than dancing because it calls for us to be on guard, ready for anything that might come up, and resistant to being taken down easily. Face of adversity and failure is essential to happiness. It's interesting to note how people who thrive and succeed in life approach obstacles differently and are ready for any situation that may arise. To them, life is about embracing change and looking for the good in even the worst circumstances. Despite your resistance and fears, you can overcome them and move forward by taking baby steps and not letting failure stop you. Consider the good things in life and the unceasing passage of time. In the wise words of Marcus Aurelius, time is powerful, and this too shall pass. Seventh, show a great deal of gratitude for everything you have. According to Marcus Aurelius, we should be aware of our virtues, cherish them, and keep in mind how much we would miss them if we didn't have them. We frequently concentrate solely on our shortcomings and forget about all the wonderful things and people in our lives. Marcus Aurelius tells us to picture how our lives would be different and how much we would miss the amazing people and circumstances in our lives if we did not have them. This is an easy yet very powerful exercise to develop a strong feeling of gratitude for everything in our lives that is going well. The simple pleasures in life, like being alive, having close family and friends, and having the capacity to love and enjoy, are often overlooked because we focus too much on our shortcomings and the negative aspects of life. You feel better and are happier when you are grateful and appreciative of what you have. Eighth, show tolerance and refrain from passing judgment. We are all interdependent and interconnected, as Marcus Aurelius reminds us. We can either be patient with one another or helpful. We cannot live meaningful lives in isolation from the web of life, nor can we isolate ourselves from it. Empathizing with others helps us to lower or let go of our preconceived notions about them. We ought to be prepared to impart knowledge and teach others, but never to force our beliefs on them. We are not accountable for the deeds or results of others. We are only accountable to ourselves. Attempting to mold people into our image will only make us more irritated. Ninth tip is to find inner peace. According to Marcus Aurelius, anxiety did not leave him. Rather, he dismissed it since it only existed within his own perceptions. It's easy to forget that our minds create every experience we have. Our experiences are shaped by our emotions, which also influence how we respond to them. When we acknowledge that everything we experience is internal, we discover that we actually have more control over our emotions than we previously believed. We can master a large portion of happiness if we can control our emotions. 10th, embrace your mortality and live in the present. Because death is always close at hand, Marcus Aurelius counsels us to live virtuously while we are still here, rather than wishing for 1,000 years to live. He exhorts us to stop wasting time on unimportant things and to concentrate on what is important and meaningful. Many people put off their goals and aspirations for the future because they believe they will always be alive. The fundamental lesson from Marcus Aurelius is that we should cherish the time we have left and begin living our lives right away. We frequently promise ourselves that we will begin doing something, exercising, going after a career, or writing a book tomorrow. However, one of the riskiest words in the English language is tomorrow. Give up on tomorrow and begin to live for today. With luck, you enjoyed this video. Remember to watch the other 2 videos we have for you right now, which will pop up on your screen. And please subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more videos like this one. I appreciate you viewing.